Hi guys, I'm Nicholas Warwick, CEO of Redbrick and PropertyForum.com and globally released author of Investing in International Real Estate for Dummies, for the famous For Dummies brand. Make sure you get out and buy the book. Got loads of useful content covering all the main property investment strategies in there. Now, I'm today going to show you around the latest site update of my client's site. I'm working with this on a mentee basis, mentoring them through the site down in Fleet in Hampshire. It's a 20,000 square foot office to resi conversion, which you've probably seen on the channel before. This is the monthly update video, so I want to show you around and show you what we've been up to. Very, very busy on the top floor. A lot of the flats are all formed now, and well, best way is show you around. Let's get going, guys, show you around. So we're down here on the ground floor, and the final section of the groundworks for the drainage is going in. This is where we had major problems with the rebar, the metal rebar going through the concrete, reinforcing the concrete. It wasn't just so simple as breaking the concrete and digging. There's all this metal stuff that had to be cut out, tens of thousands of bits of metal individually cut off, so it's been a real delay. It's eaten into some of the budget, and you can see the diggers actually digging these big drainage holes as we speak. So yeah, the whole rest of the building now has been plumbed, and if I bring you down here quickly, you'll see over here, if you can span down here, guys, the drainage has already been filled in a lot of places, and the drainage waste poking up through the floor. So that's all been done around that bottom half of the building. It's just this half now is being laid and filled. And then we've got the partition walls already starting to go up actually on the first side. So now on this floor, it'll work round in a kind of anti-clockwise direction, filling up the drainage and then starting to build the walls. But exciting times. Let's go upstairs. Got a map up here of where to go. We've got 44 apartments being built for professional. We're going to sell these flats once built, get them on the market. We've got agents engaged. We're going to start to do a little bit of off-plan selling towards Christmas, end of the summer, Christmas. We've also got a show flat we're going to be doing in time for the sales. So, but yeah, let me show you some of the formed flats. Before I take you into one of the flats, there was a site office we've got set up back there, so not suitable to show you at the moment. But we've had first fix electrics going in, and as you can see, a number of the electrical runs are going in. You can see points here which will come down for, so this white point, I don't know what it is, but it could be a fire alarm point, it could be, I don't know, a sensor of some point, it could be the actual lighting in the hallway that they're provisioning for there. And these trays carry all the wires, and the roof is left, the ceiling is left to the last minute to cover up. We will have some access panels to be able to get to that, but for now it's open, it's easy access. You can see how easy it is to run cables around the building. The red ones incidentally are the fire alarms, so they're easy to differentiate from all the others. But let's go and have a quick look inside the building. So ever so quickly, we've got a cupboard in the left, which is not entirely exciting, but a boiler cupboard. This will be the kitchen in here. It's very dark. I don't know if you can see me in here, if the cameras pick up much lighting. But yeah, we'll have sort of a kitchen going two sides here, fridge, freezer and stuff in there. So it's a nice little galley kitchen. Back out into two bedrooms. We'll go into this one. No, this will be the lounge, sorry, it's a one bed. So we've got a lounge and a bedroom in this. So really nice sized rooms. Actually, as the buildings come together, it's amazing that things actually get bigger and bigger. When you've got one big open plan space and you think, well, I'm going to get on each floor 22 flats, you think, how on earth am I going to get that? But as the walls go up and you partition stuff, it becomes a maze, you know, loads and loads of flats, and you walk around and you really can't quite believe how much space you get in each of the rooms. These are really well provisioned flats, actually some of the larger flats in the area. So, you know, we've been very lucky with what we've got here, and some incredible flats will result. So let's have a look around here. This will be so this is going to be the lounge, and this will be a bedroom with a nice large ensuite kind of bathroom off it. So yeah, lovely spot really, nice sized bedroom, works really well. And you can see here, interestingly, I think I've discussed this on previous videos, but we've brought the ceiling height down. This ceiling height is actually about 20 centimeters higher than the minimum needed. So we've given it quite a lot of ceiling height to get a bit of wow factor in the flats. They feel nice, big, spacious flats. And you can see the roof slopes. We would have loved to have gone up further, but if we had, we'd have probably been paying another 30 centimeters. You're probably talking 40 or 50,000 pounds build cost, because you've got to go up, you've got to have the extra plastering, you've got to have the extra painting and decorating, the extra finishing, the extra partitions. So like this is an ensuite, that would have had to go up a bit further. So you've got the double plasterboard on that. Imagine timesing that by 44, how much extra square meterage of plasterboard and plaster and paint you'll need, let alone the labour to fit it and make it finished. So yeah, that kind of small decision of let's go as maximum as we can on the roof, well, it's not really viable. You've got to balance the quality of the final spec with what it's going to cost to deliver, and how viable that is. And it's, if I go up another 30 centimetres here and spend 40 grand, that's directly out of my profit. I don't think I'd add 40 grand to the end value of the flats for that extra 30 centimetres. So I think that's key, is always keeping one eye on the exit, one on the end value. Then when you make decisions as you go along, you'll understand, you're eating into your profit if you make the wrong decision, which no one wants to do. But let's have a quick whirlwind tour around the rest of it. Corner flat here. Let's have a look at this one. Quite a quirky flat, this one. So you come in, you've got a little quirky entrance. Because the corner ones are always quite tricky to get to in the centre. This building's a kind of rectangular building. Let's get into a light area. This building's a kind of rectangular building, and the walkway runs down the centre of it, like that, around the centre. You've got flats off each side, all around that square. So the corner ones, you've got a kind of a little quirky entrance to them as you get into them. So that was the reason for the sort of quirky entrance, but I love it. I mean, I think it brings some character to the building. You'll notice on a lot of areas, the walls are not finished, and that's to give access to the electricians and plumbers to run their cabling. So traditionally when you build partition walling, you'll build one side, leave the other side open. And then once all the first fix, electrical, mechanical, and everything like that is done, you board them up, and then you can start plastering. There are some areas that you need to board first, and you can see along the top, these have all been fireboarded. So this is all part of fireboarding and fire stopping to stop it get between flats and between units. If you go up into the ceiling and out across the top, that all needs to be extremely well protected. So yeah, a lot of fireboarding done, and you can see things like the pillars here. The pillars are all protected with fire. The pink plasterboard is the fire resistant plasterboard. So all the structural elements of the building are protected with fire, because we don't want the structure of the building to melt and fall down. I mean, we're talking highly unlikely scenario here. It's a two-story building, ground floor and first floor. So the likelihood of not being able to get out of this building safely is very unlikely, and very unlikely that you're not going to get out before a massive steel girder melts. But these regs are kind of one size fits all. So these regs are kind of made, in my mind, for tower blocks like Grenfell, and Grenfell's had a huge effect on the construction industry for very good reason. Safety standards improving, but it's kind of one size fits all at the moment, which, for a building of this size, I don't think this is necessarily needed. But at the moment, all the consultants, all the engineers are all over engineering everything to the highest spec, because everyone's really scared of their professional indemnity insurance for under-specking something to do with fire. And I guess my opinion is that it's better to overspec than underspec, without a doubt. But I think as the months and years go on, the fallout of Grenfell and all the extra regulation that's come in, that's going to gradually start to become more feasible for certain size projects. I think they'll bring in like different tiered specifications for protection for different size and types of building. At the moment, this one size fits all approach really isn't helping smaller builders that have to build something to the spec that a tower block gets built. So yeah, it's a bit of a tricky situation in the industry, and it does increase your costs. All the more reason to need, have a great QS and project management team on board to make sure you spec out your sites early doors, because you might not be aware of the fire protection needed. You might not be aware of the acoustic flooring needed between flats, the acoustic boarding, the walls, the ceiling protection. On this particular site, as I documented in another video when we spoke to Tom, our project manager, the architects spec'd 17 different types of wall. So each wall, whether it between a lounge and a bathroom, a lounge and a kitchen, or out between flats, all needed different types of boarding. Now we managed to get that down to 10 types, which made it more cost effective, but you still need a lot of consideration for your builds. So don't go into an office to resi scheme or any commercial to resi conversion scheme blindly. Make sure you have the right team around you. And of course, I'm available either as a JV partner or as a mentor to work with you to kind of take you through the process and help implement that with my power team. So if that's of interest, please reach out with the details around. Whilst I'm at it, don't forget to subscribe. Let's go around the rest of the building. Here's an interesting flat coming in. A couple of windows needed to be added in this flat. But again, these are some of the metal bracing that was added to the building. and this has all been added to help the flex of the building gone in, and this has all been painted in fire resistant paint. So yeah, that's some interesting points. I don't know, for some reason the structural engineer felt that was necessary, and again, you know, regulation, there's a lot of stuff going on at the moment that, you know, you've got to adhere to, and you don't want to fall foul of the regs. So having the right, you know, team around you that understand these regs. You know, I don't profess to be an expert on all the regs. I know a lot of them from being here and being in the meetings and listening to these consultants and being advised by them, but there's a reason I have probably 20 people working for us on the you know, the professional team on this site to make sure that we don't miss anything. And that's what I rely on. I rely on my professional team to advise me, and then I make an informed commercial decision on the right way to do things. So let's carry on around the tour. Let's have a look at one of the mezzanine flats now. So this is one of the mezzanine flats. This is the front door of the flat we've just come through. And we've got a kitchen in the middle of the flat. We've got a big long living room area down the middle. And we've got a nice big bedroom at the end. So come in here, nice big ensuite for this particular bedroom. This is a huge bedroom. So nice ensuite there. And then a huge bedroom in the middle. Really huge rooms. So, you know, we've got a lot of space in this building, and the centre of the buildings are quite tricky to operate with less window space. We've got big light wells, small courtyards, whatever you want to put it, in the centre. And we've managed to use as much light as we can for each of these flats to get 3 views on that light well to get as much natural light through into the property as possible. But as you can see, we've got 3 lovely sized rooms in here. So these are going to be lovely flats, actually, very kind of city living style. Okay, I'll take you up to the mezzanine areas in this flat now. Wow, well, you can see we've managed to utilise some extra space up here. All the partitions gone in. This is 4 rooms. It must on camera look like a complete mess of partition mauling. It's like a maze of partition mauling, but we've just come in 1 room here. It's going to have a nice ensuite, nice usable space up here. I mean, this could be used for anything. Could be used as extra room, could be used as storage, could be used for any sort of space really. So, you know, wherever you can in a building, think of volume. You know, try and get your rooms as voluminous as possible whilst being viable. Try and use extra floor space where possible. You know, extra floor space means extra GDV ultimately. And we're not going to stay up here too long because it's blooming hot. The window's not been put in. There is a space for a window that's been put in here. So we're just waiting the window. That would have been taken out to measure the space. Windows ordered, and that looks out. You actually get quite a good view out there, and also the lower part of the courtyard. So almost finished the tour. I'm not going to show you every unit, 44 units. They all look very similar. We'll do a full tour right at the end, but for now, let's head out. Fair bit of, as you can see, fair bit of Cat 6 cable going in here. I don't think that's the half of it, to be honest. But, you know, these trays are incredibly useful. The electricians can keep an eye on things, get things in easily, see what runs they've done. We've got temporary lighting, as you can see, hanging from the strips at the moment, which is good lighting. And once that's finished, this boarding will be closed up with appropriate boarding, and just smaller access panels left for people to access if they need maintenance and whatnot. But yeah, I dread to think how many miles of wiring goes into a building like this. So yeah, interesting to see it all exposed. Well, that was the site tour for this month. Not a huge amount looks like it's changed, but an awful lot actually has. You know, a lot of the boarding's been finished, all the fire boarding. We're into first fix electrics is well underway, and is a lot of plumbing. You probably noticed a lot of the plumbing in all the kitchens, all the boiler cupboards in each of the flats, all been put in. So it really is progressing. And this is the phase of the build in the middle. We're about halfway through. It's the phase of the build where, so you know, 2 or 3 month period, subtle changes, but it's all happening in the walls. It's all hidden away. And then what you get is the last couple of months, really impactful stuff, really exciting stuff, where they start painting, all the woodwork's gone in, you start getting the fixtures and fittings coming in, the kitchen's coming in, the bathroom's getting fitted. That's the really impactful kind of when you see the finished effect, and you can get really excited because we've gone really lovely high spec on this building. So if you want to keep following the journey of this, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos. Follow the journey of this and many other developments we're doing. We've got a care home conversion going off down in Hampshire. We've got an HMO on that site as well being built. So yeah, loads going on. I want you guys to be a part of the journey. I want to hear your thoughts. Please whack some comments in, please like as well. I want to see what you guys are thinking out there and what you're doing in your own projects. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one, and we'll see you on another video very soon. Take care, bye-bye.